These cops just don't know when to stop. Never too far away from controversy, there truly is no knowing when these bumbling police officers will decide to mess up your day by making up their own ridiculous rules. Especially when they decide to slow you down by unlawfully forcing you to pull over for some truly ridiculous reasons. What a nightmare. Luckily for us, they don't always get their way. Sometimes they come across the wrong ones who could not hesitate to bring these arrogant cops down a peg or two. Want to know what we're talking about? Well, sit back and watch till the end of this video as we show you several cops who got humiliated after making an unlawful stop. Clip number 1. In our first clip, we watch as these guys get what can only be the shock of their lives as they drive along the road. Suddenly, they come across a cop who demands that they pull over.
What we're trying to do right now. But you're over here with the door open?
Right. Yeah, we take a piss and look at the. Is it illegal to have the door open?
Rather than undergoing what they thought might be a routine stop and search, ended up being something of a fright as they observed the officer at the scene approach them with his sidearm in his hand.
I'm on what's called an investigative.
Then you tell me your reasonable, articulable suspicion, and I'll give you whatever you want.
Okay.
Tell me what it is.
So you guys are.
As such, alarm bells were definitely ringing. Do you want to know why this cop approached them with his gun? If you somehow guessed that he wanted to know if they were in a car accident, you must be a soothsayer or something. Why would you approach potential victims like that? Understandably, the people in the car were frightened and agitated, especially due to the aggressive approach the cop made. When he asked them if they were in a car accident, the driver told him to use his eyes to decide if their car had recently been in a car accident, like any normal person would. Rather than analyzing the situation, which would help him see the error of his ways, the cops decided to remain on the offensive by asking the driver for his license and registration. This took the driver by surprise because this was an irregular request. You see, there must be an articulable, reasonable suspicion of some sort before a cop can ask a driver for such documents, and the cop hadn't given them his own articulable, reasonable suspicion to the driver.
Through all you want, from what you can see, I don't answer any questions.
No, he doesn't.
Pursuant to the Fifth Amendment, I have the right to.
As such, the driver demanded to know this articulable, reasonable suspicion before he handed his documents over to the police. Well, who would have guessed it? As you can see from the clip, the cop fails to articulate this suspicion. However, rather than letting the men go, this cop decides to call for backup. However, it's telling that as he waited for his fellow officers, he still couldn't let the guys know why he brought them to this illegal stop. Looking to get out of this quickly, the guys actually allowed the cop to analyze the car. However, rather than doing his job in peace, the cop was still mouthing off. At this point, the driver pleaded the fifth while he waited for backup. Maybe those guys will know their job when they get there. Then again, they're cops. How likely is that? Clip number 2. In this clip, we watch as an angry cop orders a driver to stop before demanding that he steps out of his car. However, the driver knew that he wasn't compelled to step out of his vehicle until the cops gave him the probable cause required for such an action.
What is your probable cause?
Go ahead and step out of the car, man.
Why?
This leads to an exchange of words, especially because the cop insisted on disregarding the law. Rather than curbing to the cop's will, the driver insisted on learning what the cop's probable cause was before he could step out of the car.
With you? What the fuck is wrong with you, Joe?
Step out of the car for
What is your probable cause?
When the cop wouldn't budge, the driver asked the cop for his business card. Rather than giving the driver what he asked for, the cop insisted on seeing the man's driver's license instead.
Give me your business card. You have a business card, motherfucker?
Do you have a driver's license?
Motherfucker, you have a business card?
Do you have a driver's license?
Fuck.
After another exchange of words, the cop slinked off, thoroughly defeated by this foul-mouthed driver. Sorry, bro. Better luck next time. Clip number 3. Next up, we take a look at an arrogant cop who was just looking for a reason to argue. This occurred when a truck driver from Missouri was passing through the state of Arkansas. His truck was brought to a stop by a cop because his license plate number wasn't at the back of the truck. The driver was surprised by this because he had the license plate in the front of his truck, which was in accordance with the laws of his state of residence, especially because his truck weighed more than 18,000 pounds.
Been stolen because I've got all the paperwork right here for it. Insurance, registration.
However, the driver decided to remain compliant by showing the cop his paperwork. However, he decided to draw the line when the cop asked him for his driver's license.
Not even cooperating. All I'm asking for is the driver's license.
I haven't done anything wrong.
I've explained it. If I need to, I can write a ticket to explain it.
As he asserted to the cop, he hadn't done anything wrong, so he wasn't obliged to give this cop his driver's license. Rather than acknowledging an error in his application of the rules of the road, the arrogant cop tells the driver that his license plate should be at the back of the truck because he's in the state of Arkansas. In response, the driver told him the true application of the law, which was that he actually didn't need to have the license plate on the back of his truck if he's from another state.
You and let you go on and me go on.
You can write a ticket, but I ain't gonna be fucking good because I'm a resident of Missouri and I have a plate.
Like, what does this cop actually expect him to do? Stop at the state lines to change the position of his plates every time he travels to Arkansas? Ridiculous. Amazingly, the cop was still in an argumentative mood despite being informed about what seemed so obvious. Why did he just check the front of the truck if he was so concerned about the truck's plates? You'd think these officers would be fully aware of the law. Clip number 4. Over here we have another cop who doesn't care one little bit about the law. Luckily for the driver, he was well aware of the position of the law. In this clip, a cop can be seen as he aggressively questions a man for simply sitting in his car.
You were parked in front of his house for about an hour and a half.
Yeah? Is that suspicious?
Yeah, it's kind of strange.
It's especially strange because apparently the man was parked in front of somebody's house. Upon being questioned, the man insisted that he was parked in a public area. The cop tried to assert that he had been parked there for more than an hour and that it looked suspicious. But the driver insisted that he was parked in a public space. Rather than acknowledging the situation for what it truly is, the cop decides to up the ante by asking the driver for his ID. Rather than playing to the cop's whim,
What is the issue here?
There is no issue. I'm over here minding my own business, sitting in my car, and you're coming up to me.
the driver insisted that he will not give the cop his ID because he hadn't committed any crimes, and rightly so. He was only minding his business in a public space. After noticing that he wasn't going to exploit the driver with his blatant abuse of power, the cop decides to let things die. It is always important to know the law. Clip number 5. In this clip, we can see a cop who pulls a man over before bizarrely asking him if he was carrying any weapons. This is a strange move because as far as we and the driver can tell, the driver hadn't done anything suspicious.
And also somebody shined the light for me from this
Dash cam.
You don't think that?
So speed my ass.
Yeah.
Your speed.
He didn't even explain what the driver had done wrong. After overcoming his initial shock, the driver asked the cop what he did wrong. It is at this point that he informed the driver that he pulled him over for speeding, and also because he could see bright lights coming out of the driver's car. Annoyed, the driver insisted that he wasn't speeding. Furthermore, what exactly was he supposed to do to prevent the glare from his dash cam? Rather than resolving these issues, the cop did the most incredibly inappropriate thing. While the driver was trying to show the cop his driver's license, the cop decided to reach into his car so that he could snatch the man's driver's license.
No, all I have to do is present it to you.
Hey, whoa, what the fuck?
You can see it right there.
Hey, get your hand out of his car.
Who puts these guys on the streets? Clip number 6. Finally, we take a look at some e-cops who force a man to pull over. However, although the driver subjects himself to their judgment by asking them to issue their ticket, the cops decide to prolong the situation by asking him to get out of the vehicle.
I'm not stepping out the vehicle, bro. I didn't do nothing. I didn't do absolutely nothing. If you pull me out this vehicle, I'm gonna fall.
As you can see in the video, one of them even yanks the driver's door open. As he didn't do anything wrong, the driver refuses to comply with the cops' illegal orders. In fact, he threatens to sue them if they don't back off. They are clearly violating his right, rather than listening to this man's warnings. They insist that he must step out of his vehicle. He tries to compromise with them by telling them they can search the car while he's still inside, but the cops just won't listen. Once he realized what was going on, the driver demanded to see their supervisor.
3 people out here for absolutely nothing. It's fucking ridiculous.
As they wait for this person's arrival, the man informs the cops that they also failed to articulate reasonable suspicion to him. Therefore, this was an illegal stop. Unfortunately, the supervisor arrives and doesn't help much. In fact, he gaslights the driver by stating that it's him that has escalated the situation. After all, if he had nothing to hide, there was nothing to worry about. Fortunately, the driver didn't fall for this bait, and as such, he asserted his rights and refused to be searched, especially as he had done nothing wrong. Over time, the cops ran out of steam, so they had to let the man go. With that, the video has come to an end. Don't hesitate to like and share our video. Be sure to subscribe to our channel Cops vs. Karma and hit that bell icon so you'll be notified whenever we upload a video. We'll catch you guys in the next one. Until then, goodbye!